family. How's everyone doing? We are in December. It's the end of the year, and I thought it would be befitting if we did an end of the year video. So I'm going to do a couple of videos for the end of the year for this season, and this is the first of maybe a 3 or 4 part series. So, okay, settle up. In this video, I know we're going to go over reflection and planning, right? Reflection and planning, okay? As a spiritual person on your journey, if you don't know, life is about cycles. They have small cycles and big cycles, right? We have a day that cycles 24 hours every day. That is a day cycle. We have hour cycles every 60 minutes, right? And within a day, right, we have several hours. So within one big cycle, there are smaller and smaller and smaller cycles. And so in the annual cycle, it's good for us to recap as the cycle is closing. Okay. So this is good. So I give you guys that little tidbit. We had 4 seasons. The last season is closing. And so it's always good for you to go over your year, your cycle, all of your seasons, and analyze, meditate on what happened. Okay. And this should be one in alignment with the Fa, right? Or the Fa reading for the year. So big cycle, okay? Big energy that you are connecting with. And then for those of you who have your hand of Fa, also reflecting on how your year went compared to your divination, and what your divination was saying that you would experience. That's another cycle, okay? And so you should have all of this in mind and say, okay, the year was calling for this energy. These celestial bodies were in charge this year, and this movement happened. How was I in alignment or not in alignment with that energy? Okay. And then as far as your personal, right, your personal destiny, your personal journey, how was your life? How was your life for the last 12 months? Okay. Are there things you could have done better? You need to think about that and really be honest. As a self-governing, sovereign person, or at least one that is striving to be self-governing and sovereign, it's important for you to have these conversations with yourself, because again, you're not just talking to yourself. We're not crazy, right? We are aligning with our higher self. Okay. And so that takes time. You need to go away. You need to alienate yourself. This is not something you do with the kids around, with the husband. Okay. This is something you take an afternoon, you take an evening, you take a morning, you take a late night, whatever time you could sneak away and get time to yourself and just sit and reflect and zone out and go into deep thought. You should do that. Go through every month. Think about your January, your February. Think about March. Call out the months. What emotions did you go through? What experiences, what challenges were you going through in that time? And what did it bring out of you? Okay. What were you working on? Right? We are in this journey of evolution. And so you should always be working on your character. You should be able to say, this year, 2025, I was working on X, Y, and Z character traits. And how did that look? What situations challenged this character trait, and how did I do? Did I rise to the occasion, right? Or did I not? Do I have some growth that needs to be done? You need to sit and reflect. Okay, with each month of the year, each season, how did you do this cycle? Okay, as the year goes through, comes to a close, you need to be having this tally of how your year was. And are you satisfied with those results? Are you satisfied? Not necessarily maybe with the way circumstances were that you can't control. Okay, but for things that were within your control, are you satisfied with the way you responded? Okay. Were you proud of yourself? Okay. Some of us on this journey, we don't have anyone to say, I'm proud of you. We don't have anyone to encourage us. We have to encourage ourselves. Okay. Were you proud of the way you responded? Okay. Or was there something to be left desired that needs to be, say, worked on? Are you still in progress? Okay. These are things that you need to analyze and be brutally honest with yourself about. Now, this isn't something you're going to go around sharing. Okay. And because of that, you should be able to be as transparent as possible. Okay. With yourself. Okay. If you can't be honest with yourself, then there's a level of mental illness you're not ready to unlock yet. You've got to be honest with yourself, beloved. Okay. So this is the reflection. The reflection. And how did you do with the bigger cycle? Okay. So we talked about the smaller cycle, meaning within yourself, within your life, within your character. How did you do? But how did you do also with the bigger cycle, right? If the year was moving with a lot of air energy, how were you communicating? Okay. If the air, they're burning the mosquito rings over here, which is necessary because the mosquitoes tear me up, but it messes with my nose, so you guys bear with me. um how did you do with the bigger cycles, right? There is a twinge of revolution undercurrent within the diaspora right now. Do you feel that? And how are you doing with that? Okay, where do you line up with that? Okay, there's a twinge of healers that are standing up for nature's principles, and we are out here advocating against colonial ways. How are you lining up with that? Are you opposing? Contrast completely? Are you middle ground? Or are you with the current? Are you with the big cycle? Are you with the movement? Are you with the movement of the energy on a bigger cycle? Are you in the cycle? Right? You first have to be able to identify the cycle. So that's important. Okay? You need to identify the cycle. What's current, what's in, and what's losing steam, what's old, what is losing favor with existence. Okay? You need to be able to identify. And then how are you aligning? Are you with the new, or are you still hanging on to the old? Okay? Are you noticing your luck is going bad? How are you managing? You need to also, in your reflection, analyze how you are against the bigger cycle energy. Okay? Now let's go to planning. So after you do your reflection, okay, you're going to be sitting, you're going to be journaling, you're going to zone out in your meditation. I know some of you will probably be drinking or smoking. I don't suggest it. I think you should do it sober. However, some of you, you're not there yet. Okay. And so I know you're going to, relax however you see fit to let your mind wander and be able to get into your safe space. So however you get there, just get there. Okay. And after you get there and you do your reflection, the next phase you're going to have to do is planning. Okay. Take a deep breath. Planning. What do we want for 2026? What do we want for 2026? Okay. Did we finish all of our goals, all of our agenda items, all the things that we plan to do for 2025? Okay. If we did, great. Check, check, check. Okay. If we didn't, then you have to assess, is this still relevant? Is this still applicable? Is this still something that needs to be on the board for 2026? If so, then we'll roll it into the plan for 2026. Okay? If not, then we need to take it off. And for some of you, it's going to be hard to take things off the board that need to be taken off the planning board. But be okay with that. Okay? And then on the opposite end, if you are okay with hiding from things and you'd rather do away with it and take it off the board than really dealing with it, it needs to stay on. You need to work on this, but you just don't want to do the work. It's easier to let it go. Don't do that this year. Grow in character. Keep it on and work at it. But you need to be honest. See, when I say honest seeker, when I say this being honest on your journey, it's really just being honest with you. You're not going to turn this into me. I'm not asking for it. It's not an assignment. I'm not going to grade it. Okay. Yeah. Nor am I going to give you cookies or brownie points or anything like that. This is between you and your Ori. Okay. And you need to plan and you need to set goals. Goals for the year. That's the big cycle. But then also smaller, tangible goals that happen quarterly, sometimes monthly. Okay. Milestones. I want to have this percentage completed by this date. Okay. This is important. It gives a sense of satisfaction. It gives a sense of satisfaction. Okay. Mm. And remember that with planning, just like with reflection, it's a spiritual process. Okay. We are spiritual beings. Everything we do, there is a spiritual component. With planning, this is a spiritual process as well. This is a time for you and your higher self, your divinity, right? To sit and for you to really give your spiritual team direction. This is what we want to do. That way they can start advocating in the unseen on your behalf because you've given them directives. This is where my energy is going this year. I want your support. Okay, this is an alignment and you need to ask for confirmation. Give me confirmation in my dreams if this is the way to go. Help me understand these things, these obstacles. How do I make it around these challenges? this planning process can be amazing on your spiritual journey. Okay. Well, I'm going to cut this video short. I know it hasn't been too long, but if you want more, then DM me or comment below your question. Have you did your plan already? If so, let me know what some of your goals are for 2026. Okay? Until next time, be well.